All right, we will start this meeting off. Mr. Fullerton is here and Councilmember Baldwin is here. We'll go to item number 1 on reports and presentations, East Pierce Fire and Rescue Monthly Report, Chief Parkinson.
All right, well, I'll start off just with some verbal report and then get the stats. And so, wrapping up my tour of city councils tonight, so thank you for allowing me to speak last week. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep, but it's been a couple of years since we've been able to report out some updated information. We had our first annual awards ceremony, so actually the first time we've had a whole organization awards ceremony for the recession over the weekend. So it was exciting to see everybody come back. I think we had around so huge success and exciting to see. The hard drill, we obviously helped out during that event. Had one person helping staff the Bonney Lake EOC. Had somebody down evaluating the school kids evacuating, and then up at the EOC and Dural. I think overall, at least from everything I saw, I think everything was outstanding, and we're ready for a hard officially. Just as nice to know is we have 3 battalion chiefs that are graduating from the Seattle Fire Department Executive Leadership Academy that's affiliated with Foster's. That's exciting to see those folks higher level training locally. And then last item of note is that we've got 3 recruits who are graduating the Fire Academy Friday, May 27th. And so they'll start their post-academy on site for a couple months and hit the field in mid-July. And then right behind them, we'll have a class of 7 starting. And then on stats, nothing crazy to report. If you happen to look on the first page of the stats, the Bonney Lake Station would show that it has a nearly 9% reduction in call volume. But if you flip back a couple pages to the total counts by unit, the 2 units that are stationed there, engine 11 and medical 11, both show call response increases. And so that's to say, while the station's pursuit area, which is primarily the city of Bonney Lake, they have a slight call drop so far this year. They're extending out beyond their first 2 areas. No, anything that says 111. So 111. Yeah. And on the first page, the incident counts by station got the 11.
Oh, there it is. Okay, got it.
I realize station numbers don't always mean me.
Yeah.
That is all that I have. If there's any questions I can answer.
I've got 2. Are you guys doing a pancake feed anytime soon?
So the local is the one that hosts that down in Sumner.
Yeah.
And since we have not had one since, I want to say typically it's in.
Okay. Oh, okay. Not this fall? Okay.
Well, sorry. Yeah, this coming fall.
Oh, okay.
Whichever one that is, the fall of 2022.
Okay.
We do expect to have our open house as normal. So we're planning for that.
Okay.
Basically everything that we've had historically.
Awesome.
Open house is the first weekend, the first Saturday of month.
And God forbid we ever have anything like what we did with the Sumner Grade Fire, but what would happen if we had something like that on the back hill?
So back hill meaning?
Going down the South Prairie.
What would happen? Besides the same thing, when you say what would happen?
Yeah, give
me what more.
Well, like more down. That whole South Prairie area is just pretty flat, plain land with lots of grass. Something similar could happen over there. Would it be the same response? Would there be anything new you guys have learned that may be done differently?
Really, the big things that would change today versus Sumner Grade. Number 1 is DNR efforts. Locally. So last summer we had 2 pretty decent sized fires near Tahali.
Yeah.
Both of those would have been significant fires for us. But DNR was on scene with air support. Normally that would have been days, or because they were late getting DNR. So their staffing improvements have helped. Beyond that, a lot of, while we might have made some on fire happened around midnight, but that still took 2 days to get resources. So, as far as timing, there wouldn't have been any improvement. Getting air assets here, it was a
Yeah.
And it's all the things that we learned really at the incident management level. I would say that we learned a lot there. But as far as our effectiveness on our staffing level hasn't access to those resources.
Okay.
But a wind event like that, or the red flag warning, humidity, fuel noise, all those other things, there would have been nothing we could do to stop it. The question was mobilization resources gotten there very early.
Yeah.
Could it have changed the outcomes? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just with it was still a red flag that day, and once did a 180 and started going. Yes, lessons learned. Good news is there's more system improvements. Anything at that size,
Yeah,
it's still hard to stop.
I mean, and it would obviously we were drafting out of Lake Bonney, where couldn't get much closer than that, right?
Yeah.
Would that be probably the similar location?
They might pull out it. There's the ski park down there.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can grab out of the river sometimes.
Okay.
On how the efforts that we're trying to do the most.
Thank you.
I wish there was a better answer.
None of them. You had an answer.
We're doing some work for Pierce County this year that we're funding. A lot of clearing out underneath fires in that same area. We're going through us. It's training with.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about the seminar grade is, it was a perfect storm: power, communications, telecommunications, all sorts of.
I think the things that internally, and I think Chuck's ahead of the game on this with having a redundant.
Yeah, the satellite backup now.
And we've switched to failover the two. Have it just be. The hard works really well right at
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. You guys have anything for Chief Parkinson? All right. Right, on to item number 2, report from Chief Jeter.
Thank you. Another busy month for us. We are still just under 2,000 more calls this year in the first quarter than last year, so definitely things are picking up. I want to point out one of the calls, Sound Credit Union hit their panic alarm. They had an alert manager who we noticed had sent out a flyer of a suspicious person that had been hitting other credit unions, that she saw the person out in the parking lot putting a mask on.
Wow.
And said, that's a clue. Push the panic button, lock the door, and the suspect never got in. So
wow.
Great job, and officers were able to get surveillance video from the surrounding business to definitely bolster their concerns. It looked like he was getting ready to go in and walking around neighboring business without a mask on, putting the mask on before he was going in credit union. Very alert manager there, very likely thwarted a bank robbery. That was good. To the NIBRS report, which is the last page there, you'll see that we are trending upward, incredibly upward in a lot of areas. We had 2 robberies at this time last year, 4 this year, 6 aggravated assaults last year, 10 this year, 25 simple assaults this year versus 13 last year. Burglary, we had 8 last year. We're up to 34 so far this year. Thefts, we had 75 in the first quarter last year, 187 this year. Here's the biggie, 1 motor vehicle theft in the first quarter last year, 24 so far in the first quarter of this year. 27 frauds this year compared to 13 in the first quarter last year. Stolen property offenses, 3 last year, 14 this year. Destruction of property and vandalism, 24 in the first quarter of 21, 83 the first quarter of 22. Last year, total NIBRS offenses in the first quarter were 181. This year, 428. We'll see that the narcotics offenses last year in the first quarter we had 17. This year we have 2, which is fueling some of the other numbers you're seeing there. Everything seems to have a nexus. Domestic violence offenses in the first quarter last year we had 13. This year we've had 35. And here's one of the disturbing trends. In the first quarter of 21, we had 193 arrests. First quarter of this year, we have 122. So way more offenses and about 70 less arrests. Motor vehicle collisions are edging up a little bit. And our DUIs, double DUIs this year than we had last year at this point. A lot of impaired drivers, and most of those are coming from collisions that officers. It's been a very busy first quarter for us. Had about 200 more reports this year than the first quarter last year. They're definitely busy, and we haven't even hit the busy season. Any questions on that?
Did I get a copy of that?
It came out in a separate email.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's in the email.
okay.
Yes.
Is that information
It should be attached to our minutes when we do that. Would that be, Debbie? The report?
not usually
Okay.
if I would have bought it sooner?
And
I
yeah.
can put it on Bonney.
Okay.
I can put it underneath the packet.
Okay. Yeah. We'll make sure it gets modified. Yeah.
It's usually in the packet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just it was a little later on the report. Thanks, Chief. All right. Anything for Chief? All right. We'll go to item number 3, emergency management monthly report. John, do you have that?
Yeah. Regine couldn't make it today, but she hit the ground running. I think it was Councilmember Baldwin saw the Lahar exercise the other day, and so she's developed this monthly report that you'll see here on out going forward. A big thing, as Chief Parkinson said, is we activated our emergency operations center for the Lahar exercise. And Councilmember Baldwin was able to attend. I thought it went really well. After action report and our response to the emergency. On the next page there, we're still dealing with COVID-19. I think we have 4 employees that are out that have tested positive. Stockpile of rapid tests, and then the mail-in take-home test kits that we've made available. City staff members if they should need it. She's working on coordinating education and training for everybody. I've often joked that everybody that's listed on our emergency operations chart doesn't necessarily know they're on that chart. And so she's, over the coming months, she's going to be working with folks so that they can better understand their roles and responsibilities in the operations center in the event we have to staff that up and getting people need. A couple things on county, state, and national activities, and then there at the end of the page, in the chart there, she notes the next exercise will be the Cascadia Rising 2022 event in mid-June, and we're still working on determining how we will.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Slide into business action items. Number 1, AB 2268, Resolution 3044. Contract for Allen York Park with Pierce County Security Incorporated. Chief Dieter.
Thank you. This is the annual contract we have to provide 2 security starting Friday, full day weekend. If Labor Day weekend can be extended if September. Basic contract that we form security there.
Okay. Anyone have any issues with that being on consent? Okay.
And I was talking to Sadie this morning, since we did council this evening, council meeting. We're going to do all the consent agenda items at next week's workshop. So she said we could move it.
Yeah,
Put it on.
that works for me. AB 2269, Resolution 3045, an amendment to the Washington Traffic Safety Commission Interagency Agreement. Chief Jeter again.
Thank you. This is an amendment to the original agreement that we signed back in October of 21. They have added money for ticket or ticket seatbelt emphasis. So signing this addendum would allow us to participate in that and get reimbursed. Starts May 16th through June. Signing this would allow us to get reimbursed.
All right. Consent, everyone okay? All right, do that there as well. Item number 3, AB.
Chair,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is when you do the enforcement and just within,
Sometimes we do go outside, but that's usually for the polls.
Item number 3, AB 2273, Resolution 3047, an annual hold harmless agreement with Swiss Sportsman's Club of Tacoma for police use at the firing range.
Yes, thank you. This is our annual agreement and payment for use of Swiss Park's range. We are now the only law gets to use that. It is a huge convenience to us, so we don't have to go. The nearest range to us that we could use is probably Black Diamond, Bonney, outdoor ranges. So having this contract is
All right, consent agenda for that as well? All right,
I do have a question on the prior to this, the
Interagency agreement.
yeah, it has the wrong council members' names on it. Catch that.
oops.
It says Carter, Dole, and Ishmael.
Oh, I mean, I
don't know
am
if that
Angela.
needs to
but
be, yeah.
I
I
don't
don't know if that needs to
matters.
be changed
No,
or
it's the
not,
Old template.
yeah, that
because it
was
does have today's date on it, so.
it'll be on next week's agenda. We'll
Because
get that
this one
revised then.
doesn't have today's date on it, but it has our names on it. Just a question.
And then item number 4, the approval of minutes. I didn't see any.
I don't know if that was.
That's today's
That's
minutes
today,
before
okay, yeah,
before
so-
it became minutes.
Okay.
I just had a question on the minutes, and I just don't know if I blanked, but were you not the chair that day? I thought it was you.
No, it was me.
Oh,
Okay.
Terry's on there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that should have been me.
Okay, yeah.
I'll get that changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But everything else is good.
And then under roll call, too, Debbie.
Oh,
That
right.
asked, were you the one that asked if we could do the zip code, or was that me?
That was you.
Okay, so,
Mhm.
yeah, so on the page 3 says line number 8, council member, could we do it by our zip code? And
That was
it was
Fullerton.
actually me. Fullerton.
Anything for open discussion?
Yeah, I just have one
Okay.
question. I was just wondering how we're going with the blocks, getting those. Are we waiting until Memorial Day weekend,
No,
or?
the
No,
Public
the-
Works
yeah.
just sent out an email this morning. Friday.
16th?
Start
16th,
selling
yeah.
passes.
And that's been posted all on our Facebook page. The police shared it with their page on Twitter and Facebook as well.
It'll actually be Monday the 16th.
Monday the 16th. Yeah, did they take the blocks away Friday?
Oh, is that what they're,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what.
So they have their signs then.
Yeah, and they will start, they came in. And they'll have it.
All right, that's good news. Angela, you have anything?
Mm-mm.
All right, anyone else for the good of the order?
Travis, can we? We're gonna be just for Bonney Lake residents,
Yes.
so that the thing about the zip code, or we're trying to, okay,
No, that was just a clarification of who said that in the minutes last time, yeah.
we're trying to communicate whatever you guys.
Yeah, it kind of went flat with the zip code. It'll just be Bonney Lake.
All right.
There
Of
is
course,
one
there's
more
some
area
people
of
that are just
correction on
now
the
aware
minutes too.
that it's-
What's that?
It
Oh,
just says
Carter.
Carter's name again.
Oh,
I do want to mention
last
that,
line on the
and I was
agenda.
gonna actually sit down and do some lists. There are still several web pages that have out-of-date information. One of them stated like April 21st. Says, launch is open. Several
Oh, the
pages.
cities side?
Yes. Yeah, and even up above on the page where the passes is, if you look down below on that same page.
okay.
I can see sometimes when people see that and they grab it, like, it says it's open.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Yeah. All right. We'll see no other discussion. We are adjourned.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Shop, personnel update.
John, that's